And we want to welcome you here to the first edition of the Jersey Cape podcast. We'll be talking all about great things going on throughout the Jersey Cape, Cape May County area for the summer and also into the fall, winter time. And one of the great things that you can do down the area is check out some great live music. And today we have Bob Rose on the show with us today. I'm Dennis Brown, your host. Bob helps book concerts both in Ocean City and down in Cape May. We're talking mostly about the Cape May series, but talking mostly about the Ocean City series, but we'll talk a little bit about Cape May towards the end. And Bob, first off, thanks for joining us.
Thanks, Dennis. I'm happy to be here as part of your first podcast.
Well, thank you. And lots to talk about. What a great lineup you have this year. It's 25th anniversary, first off. So let's talk about that. Talk about the history of the Ocean City concert series and how we got to this point where it's been so successful that, a lot of things don't last 25 years.
We're fortunate. The city started the series 25 years ago. There was 4 concerts that first summer. And to this day, I can't remember all 4 of them. I know 3 out of 4. So I always have a little contest, and no one else knows the 4th one either, apparently. But anyway, it started out with 4, then expanded to 6 to 8 in weeks and kept expanding. It originally was a Monday night concert series. Now it's involved a little where there's a few other days thrown in, for example, a couple Tuesdays or a Wednesday this year. But it's basically focused on Mondays since day one. And the main reason is to give tourists something to do on an off day. If people come into town on a Friday or Saturday and then first of the week they're looking for something new to do, this gives them an outlet. And it's been obviously successful now that we're in year 25.
Now, what a great lineup this year. I mean, obviously the Beach Boys are the number one draw, and they do 2 dates as they have the past few years. But Amy Mann, the Hooters, Blues Traveler, the Bacon Brothers, among some of the great acts. You mentioned to me before we got started how the Beach Boys were so integral in really taking this concert series to the next level. And obviously you get them for 2 dates. If you could talk a little bit about that whole arrangement, how that all worked, and how important they've been to Ocean City.
Well, basically 4 years ago, we were asking people for some suggestions, and somebody at City Hall said, the Beach Boys. And I'm kind of like, yes, sure. It's too small of a venue. But then we decided, you know what? It's America's favorite #1 family resort. They're America's #1 band. It's a perfect match. And fortunately, the partner I had, Bill Rogers from BRE Presents, approached them. They were receptive to the idea to give it a try one summer. We did 2 shows initially. They sold out before Memorial Day. He said, let's do 2 more. And I'm like, I'm a little nervous, but he goes, I'm telling you, they'll do fine. So we added another night, added 2 more shows. They sold them all out. So the first year, they sold out 4 shows. Mike Love and Bruce Johnson, the main principals in the Beach Boys, fell in love with Ocean City. And they go, we'll be back. So you figured, well, maybe. The following year, they wanted to come back. They came back to Ocean City. Hey, we like to stay on the boardwalk or in town somewhere. So we recommended various hotels, and they picked a couple. So they stayed in Ocean City, and they love it. So they sold out 4 more shows, and now they've sold out 2 years in a row. So last summer was their 3rd year, and they came back, sold out 4 more. So they've sold out 12 shows in 3 years. And without a doubt, they took the series to another level because of the quality of band and name they are. And it attracted other interest into the city from other artists. For example, a couple of years ago, Jason Mraz was looking for some small dates, rooms to try out some new material. He selected Ocean City. Now, maybe this is a coincidence, or maybe the agent knew that Beach Boys played here. Well, why not Jason? And so I think that led, and then the following year, we ended up with Trombone Shorty for the first time. So I think the Beach Boys opened that door to that next level we keep talking about. In the older days, it was basic 60s classic rock, R&B bands that played at the pier, and some tribute shows. Once the Beach Boys hit the stage, there's been no turning back.
Now, what's really cool as well is you get such a diverse group of artists. Like you mentioned, I saw the Trombone Shorty was there last year. You get Blues Traveler, Amy Mann. There's a lot of different styles and groups that you bring in. Straight No Chasers, a very fun group. And then you have a couple really popular like Get the Let Out cover groups. How do you kind of, work that whole lineup together? Because, I mean, it's clear you're not saying we have to be just all, oldies, or we have to be all, pop or whatever. You're looking at really trying to find, a kind of a diverse group of lineup and putting it all together. And it's been working, obviously.
Right. I think first I mentioned the Beach Boys, and the other turnaround for me personally was teaming up with BRE Presents based out of Haddonfield. I'm from Bridgeton originally. And when the two of us joined forces, I think that made a big impact because we both have been around for a long time booking entertainment. We both have worked with various artists through the years. And if you look at the schedule, you could tell who knew who, and those relationships, came to help make this happen. Like the Hooters, I worked with them when they first started out years and years ago, and it took a long time. We joke about it, almost 3 decades. But to get them to Ocean City was a big coup last summer. They sold out both nights, and they're on track now to sell out 2 more again this year. It's their only date in the entire country this summer on the East Coast, and same as last year. If you wanted to see the Hooters on the East Coast, it was Ocean City, New Jersey. BRE works a lot with Straight No Chaser. There again, they're coming in. They're not doing one; they're doing 2 shows the same night, and one of them is basically sold out already. And they're actually doing a 5 o'clock show, which I thought was unheard of. And it's something you wouldn't know it was a 5 o'clock starting time. The Bacon Brothers, it's an annual. When Kevin's schedule works, he and Michael and the band come to Ocean City. They love it here. They've been playing here for over a decade, off and on. This will be the first time ever that Gordon Lightfoot's played here. Looking forward to it. First time for Amy Mann, who just won a Grammy. The Indigo Girls have been here a few times in the past, and they've always done well. Now this year they're on track to have the fastest sellout of the whole series.
One more quick thing on Ocean City before we get down to Cape May. But you talked about, and you mentioned it a couple times, the acts have come to Ocean City and fell in love with it. And we know that Ocean City is a great place, but when you get an artist, for example, who maybe hasn't ever been to Ocean City, and you bring them over the bridge, they get to see everything about it. What do you think really stands out to them? What's kind of those first reactions you get from them? Because I always think it's interesting. We're used to it. We know everything. We know the places to go get the pizza on the boardwalk. We know the restaurants. The rides, the beaches, and all. But, when you get that person getting that first experience, that first taste of Ocean City, and they really fall in love with it, kind of those comments you get from them, because I always love the outsider's perspective.
Well, it reminds me of the first time Arlo Guthrie performed at Ocean City. First thing he said, this reminds me of Coney Island, the way it used to be. And, forget that. Yeah. When Jason Mraz came here, the first thing he grabbed was popcorn. The first thing Arlo grabs is a slice of pizza. The Beach Boys, if you saw it, Mike Love and his daughter walked around the boardwalk, enjoyed the boardwalk on there, and no one bothers them. I think that's part of it, too. They can walk around on the boardwalk or on the streets, and people leave them alone, respect their privacy.
That's great.
They stay in town, and where they stay is a privacy issue in which nobody tries to go to their hotel and look for them. Nobody does that. And I think that's part of it. They like the family values of the city of Ocean City. Obviously, it's a alcohol-free town, which has a major impact on some people, and for a lot of these artists, they love it. It's totally different than some of the other environments that they play in.
No, it is. It's and we love it. Being down here, there's nothing I enjoy more than getting a slice of pizza on the Ocean City boardwalk. When my family comes down. My mom and dad, they love to walk that boardwalk. There's some nice shops to check out, so it's definitely fun. I know you also work down in Cape May, another place that we love a lot. And that new convention center down there, they've done a fabulous job with that. Very beautiful venue. I know it's been, very successful over the first few years. I know you're involved with that. If you could talk a little bit about, what's going on down in Cape May this year with their convention hall.
Well, the Cape May Concert Series is primarily on Wednesday nights. It actually kicks off on a Thursday because of the July 4th holiday on July 5th. But it kicks off with Little Anthony and the Imperials. Last year they had 8 shows and they had 8 sellouts. If we repeat that again, I don't know what we'll do next. But we have Little Anthony and the Imperials as one of them this summer, just to change it up a little. Winona Judd. We have the Brooklyn Bridge, the association's part of it, the Spinners. It's a little different demographic, but it's still that classic sounds that people grew up to love, and now they get to see it live in person.
No, and great venue there. Now, with the Ocean City shows, if you're looking to buy tickets for that, brepresents.com, that's the best website to go to?
Well, you have two options.
Okay.
Come Memorial Day weekend, you can buy them at the Ocean City Music Pier box office.
Okay.
They traditionally go on sale that Friday, that weekend.
Okay.
Pre-Memorial Day, people that use the internet can buy them online from Ticketmaster.com, or you can buy them on a phone number from Ticketmaster.
Okay. And then Cape May, if you're interested for tickets down there?
Cape May is called the box office, or check their website out. They have their whole concert schedule on the website, and you can get it right there.
Awesome. Well, we appreciate it, Bob. Anything else you want to get out there before we wrap it up today?
Yeah, we appreciate the opportunity, and we hope people have a great, healthy, happy summer and safe.
Well, they're going to have a great summer if they're going to these concerts, because there's something fabulous every week to check out. We want to thank everybody for listening to our first episode here with our Jersey Cape podcast. We'll have lots of great stuff throughout the summer into the fall, and hopefully that you check us out as we continue along. Dennis Brown here with Bob Rose. Have a great day.